Marine One carries President Biden over the COVID-19 memorial with 600,000 flags for each life lost. Politics. 600,000 flags for each life lost. Holy crap, that's 360 billion flags. Halliburton got into the miniature flag production game. Gotta make that dollar. Cheney don't fuck around. 2004 jokes FTW. Bringing it back. Underrated comment man, good work lol. Dem cost plus contracts though. Fuck Dick Cheney. I don't really wish death upon anyone, though for him, and Henry Kissinger, I would happily make an exception. I patiently await for the heart attack which finally does him in. He is an evil puller of puppet strings, a warmonger, a war profiteer, and no doubt behind plenty of other horrible things about which we may never know. And so is Bush, Obama, Trump, and Biden. Fuck 'em all to death. COVID is just a scheme from Big Flag to sell more flags. I like your avatar D. Twinning? They're quite small flags actually. No, that's the Pledge of Allegiance. Lmao Big Flag. First thing I thought too lol. I was told there wouldn't be any math. I think they said meth. Well now I'm pissed. That's cold, ice cold. Don't worry, I brought glue. I think most people should be able to do 6 squared in their heads. Then it's just a matter of collecting up the zeros. My reaction too. Something wrong is not right. 360 billion flags for each life lost. Holy crap, that's 216 quadrillion flags. 216 quadrillion flags for each life lost. Holy crap, that's 1.296 septillion flags. Where are we going to get that many white flags? Hello, President Macron. ... That's like 9/11 times a million. Well, that would be 818,818.818. Flag printer goes BRRRR. Evidence that COVID-19 was a false flag operation the whole time. It's going to disappear. One day, it's like a miracle, it will disappear. And from our shores, it could get worse before it gets better. It could maybe go away. We'll see what happens. Nobody really knows. Former President Donald J. Trump, February 27, 2020. I take no responsibility. Donald Trump, former Twitter user. The coronavirus is very much under control in the USA, the stock market starting to look very good to me. DJT 24 February 2020. When he said he wanted to downplay the virus because it would cause a panic, he wasn't talking about the behavior of his people. He was talking about the stock market. Everything is about the stock market with this guy. I am under the belief he keeps mistaking the virus for a bear market. The stock market is a barometer of the economy for the foolish and the uninformed. Makes sense that DJT would value it as a barometer of his presidency. If the market is up, he thinks he's doing a good job. Trump owns almost no stocks. The few he does have are ETFs that he doesn't manage directly. 15 today, it'll be 0 next week. Some idiot on TV. It is what it is. Abuser more like it. I was at a conference that Mike Pence spoke at mid-February too, not CPAC, mind you, and a section of his speech was how they were so proud and ready because we only had 50 to 60 cases and we were prepared for anything. That aged like Charles Crushtoost's fine milk collection. Is that a Jake and Amir reference? In 2021? Godspeed you beautiful bastard. I fucking love Jay and A and still go back to watch once in a while. The only thing that's disappearing are the unvaccinated. The leopards are hungry for faces. What a dumb human. And all the humans who support him. For a brief second I thought this was a shot from one of those isometric sprite-based strategy games we had back in the early 2000s like AO 2. It's literally the exact same angle as those games. My BF was watching Red Bull Wololo all weekend and I thought this was my computer listening in and showing me AO subreddits. What's Red Bull Wololo? Red Bull is the Red Bull brand. Wololo originally, I think, refers to the priest unit's conversion chant in Age of Empires. Red Bull Wololo is an Age of Empires 2 tournament series hosted and sponsored by Red Bull. Age of Empires is not a series I'd ever associate with Red Bull or any other energy drink. 100k prize pool and, I think, over 40k viewers at one point this weekend. Red Bull put a lot of money into this tournament. Flew 16 of the best AOE2 players to Germany to compete for 6 days in a castle. 100k prize pool AOE2 tournament live in a castle. Proly referring to the minion that converts enemy minions from red to blue. Don't bash me if I'm wrong, just trying to be helpful with what I've read. Yup, but more so it's referring to the Red Bull Age of Empires 2 tournament. The link is to the finals. Really cool if you're into that sort of thing. Well till. It reminds me of the old helicopter strike games, Desert Strike, Urban Strike, Jungle Strike, etc. So many memories of playing those with my parents. Exactly what I thought. I was so confused for like 15 seconds. Unable to comply, building in progress. Construction complete. New construction options. Building. Acknowledged. Kirov reporting. Jungle Strike for sure. I totally see what you mean. Zone for light residential. Constructing additional pylons might help with the COVID situation. We used to, but we still do too. You should try AOE2 to again. The competitive scene for it is pretty serious, and it's extremely well balanced for ranked games, like chess. Wooluluo really puts it in context to sheer death count. We think of attacks on our country like 9/11s, and the loss and pain associated with that event. During peak 2020 we had 3K plus deaths per day. No wonder medical staff across the country is pissed off when people are not taking the vaccine. Your country is under attack. The majority of those deaths could have been easily avoided had the pandemic vaccinations been politicized. You need to hold the people responsible for spreading misinformation and turning against science in the name of political gain. You should treat them like war criminals or terrorists because they've done just as much damage as anyone could. If we really held those responsible accountable, we'd have one-party rule for a little while until a new party emerged to replace the justly dissolved GOP. Imagine if there could be more than two parties? What if the political spectrum could be more than these guys and the other guys outcompeting each other on selling out the country? Might require some constitutional amendments though, but who doesn't love the amendments? Ranked choice voting might be able to clear this mess up a little bit, but otherwise it'd take that constitutional amendment. I'm totally down. The two-party system is trash. No system can sustain more than 3 major parties. The incentive for coalitions is too large mathematically. You end up with 2 pretty often because smart people create big tent coalitions. Systems with lots of parties almost always just have either 2 or 3 major parties, the UK, Canada, etc., or you get 2 to 3 coalition super parties. There are multiple parties in the US, but people are too cowardly to vote for them. The two-party duopoly has scared people into propping it up. Our voting system is guaranteed to create a two-party government. The founders thought this an undesirable but avoidable outcome, but in fact baked it in. Imagine if one of the 2 major parties split. It would guarantee one-party rule until they came back together to form a second major party. We're stuck like this. Our voting system plus flawed human psychology, more accurately. Ranked choice voting would help alleviate the issue, but the fact remains that third-party candidates could be elected under the current system if people voted the way they're supposed to for the candidate that best represents their views rather than voting for a lesser evil. It's not flawed psychology, it's natural, it's how we operate. Our political system started out with lots of parties, but what always happens in a first-past-the-post system is that the fringiest parties garner only a small share of the vote every time and realize they'll never hold political power as they are. They find a more popular party that shares some of their beliefs and join them. Those more popular parties grow larger, and the parties at the new fringe quickly find themselves in the same position and ally themselves to more popular parties. The process repeats until there are only 2 left, and almost everybody is in them. Homophone alert. The word you're looking for is sheer, not sheer. Whoa, buddy, he got one word spelled wrong, no call to go calling them a homophone for it. I don't really see what this has to do with that at all. The pulmonologist I see was begging my husband and I to ensure that everyone we knew was getting vaccinated. He begged us. He looked and sounded completely defeated. He told me that the images of my injured lung were the only good thing he'd seen this year. My lung was 2/3 collapsed earlier this year and I've made a miraculous recovery so far.